Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Yuki. I'm a metaphysical intuitive tarot reader here on YouTube, and I normally wanted to do pick a pile readings, but I want to be a little more strategic. I am probably going to start posting some YouTube shorts. Obviously, you can also check out my videos on TikTok, but today I'm just going into some guided messages about anything that you really need to hear. So it's only going to be one pile reading for right now. And then once I have a little bit more time, a little bit more energy to really start building up, because that pick a pile reading kind of took a week and a half out of me. Just energy wise as well. So I wanted to be able to give you guys a little bit more consistent content, also make a lot more, messages available. So I'm going ahead and doing one pile readings just for right now. This will be a full in-depth reading plus oracle, and any type of channel messages that come through, either from your guides or deities that come and call. So today we're using the Light Seer deck. It's a pretty popular deck, and also the High Priestess Oracle deck as well. And any other Oracle cards or messages that want to come through will obviously adjust throughout the reading. But yeah, so if you're new here, channeling kind of gets a little crazy. So just bear with us. You will very much hear messages that you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear. So please be prepared for that. Also, I just want to do a quick shout out because I love this tarot cloth. This is something I actually made, and it's actually based off of the brainwaves of happiness. These are the brainwaves that you experience when you're super happy. So I don't know why I wanted to shout that out, but if you ever wanted to know what the heck, Yuki, what is with your weird tarot cloth, this is really near and dear to my heart because this is a crazy print that I used to do when I was in fashion school. But yeah, so let's get into your reading. I just ask for you to close your eyes just for a few moments and take a really nice deep breath. And when I say deep breath, I mean breathe out and push your belly out. Hold it for 4 seconds and release. And I'm sorry, that's my dog. If you hear any random pitter patters or snorting, I promise you it is not me, it is my puppy. He's a character. But yeah, so let me get into the reading. There are two possible layouts that might come out. It really depends on how the cards come out. But I'm just going to start with, okay, Spirit, what are some things that you want the receivers of this reading to know? Okay. All right. What about their past, Spirit? What is something in their past that they need to reflect on? Okay. Okay. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. 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 All right. Okay, so there's two basic layouts to readings that I do. Let me just make sure you can see all of them. I will go and bring them up to the camera when I'm talking about each of them. Typically, the first card at the top is the overall message of the reading or what is encompassing. And then you have your past, your present, and your future. And then these are just some messages from your spirit team and your guides, which will probably go a lot. Interesting to see death and rebirth in here. There's definitely a rebirthing, and it has a lot to do with your mindset. You feel locked out, and you feel locked out because you don't always, I'm like stuttering too, you weren't always like this. And it's very frustrating for you to be in this situation, to just not see clearly what's in front of you, and you've really been hurting yourself, not taking the time to like understand what you did differently previously that got you to this, that got you into this mess, is really what I'm hearing. So the overall reading is the Five of Pentacles. And the thing with the Five of Pentacles, you can see it right here on the card, actually. Let me put it back up. Hopefully it'll focus. Thank you, camera. So as you can see here, this girl is forlorn, not realizing that while everything's locked away from her, the key is right there. But because she's so focused on not being able to progress forward or be able to unlock the door, she doesn't realize that the key is right there. And the messages that I'm receiving is that you used to be a person who knew how to trust their intuition. With the High Priestess here, especially because this is a major arcana card, this is a huge call out saying that we weren't always like this. And your guides, there's a bit of a pit in the stomach kind of feeling where it's like, why am I like this? Like it's to the point where like you're getting so anxious about like, oh, am I picking the right thing? Like, am I making the right decision? Like you're consistently doubting yourself. And like your guides are pretty much telling you that you not trusting your intuition and you like focusing on the fact that like you haven't been trusting it is what's creating all of this confusion with the Seven of Cups here. But things to take note for your future. And there's some really good messages. I'm excited to get down to the bottom of this reading. But like the biggest message here is to take some time for yourself. It's interesting to see this like nest being built, right? And this girl laying with the Four of Swords here. The Four of Swords is always indicative of like taking a rest and kind of like it's the moment before you shoot a bow. And if you've never shot a bow, right? Like, and this is totally new to you. Hi. When you draw a bow back, right? You're creating more tension. And like you're creating all this potential energy, right? You're being called to really start pulling back. And I don't mean creating tension wise. I just mean like you need to start pulling back to put yourself forward in a good spot where like you feel confident enough that you are well rested in your mentality and the state of your being. Like you're really, really being called right now to like give yourself a rest, because like with this overthinking and with this I said overthinking automatically. With this mindset and overthinking and like not focusing on, the fact that like, you have the resources. It's actually interesting. Like the Five of Pentacles is kind of like, it always reminds me of the Magician in reverse, right? Where like the Magician upright knows their resources, is a super powerful manifester. And then like when it's in the reverse, it's like, you're still a really powerful manifester, but you're not recognizing the resources in your mindset. And the Five of Pentacles is kind of indicative to that too, right? Like you're so powerful in the things that you focus on negatively that you're literally keeping yourself there. But the good thing about that is that you can get out of it because the key is right there. There is a way out. There is a solution. There is good. There is good things. You're allowed to have good things, And And just because you sometimes make poor decisions doesn't mean you need to bastardize yourself to the point where like you can't trust yourself anymore. And that's like the biggest thing that I'm seeing here is that you're having such a huge problem trusting yourself, especially here with like the Seven of Cups. Like you can see like this there in a lot of times the Seven of Cups talks about like illusion and like trying to find the ball underneath the cup kind of trick of what's actually there. And I feel like all right, I'm being called to share this. So I had the same like issue too. I was not trusting my intuition, and I was constantly, because and granted I had like a lot of like emotional abuse I had to like recover from, but pretty much I would see every person in my life as like a romantic interest, because I was literally like gaslit into those type of situations to the point where I stopped trusting my instincts and literally was like, oh my god, there's all these people, like are they like hitting on me? Like I don't get it. And like that, and it created so much confusion and so much hurt and so much pain for myself and like the people around me that like I couldn't hear my intuition because my trauma was talking much louder, and I constantly were seeing all these options, and honestly the options weren't really there because like deep down I knew, I'm like, oh well, this person's an asshole. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm using my intuition as like as a lie detector or anything like that. I just mean like this person wouldn't work out with me because they're an asshole. Like I don't enjoy their energy, that like they're not good. This other person creeps me out, like they're not an option. I don't feel safe with them. Why would I even entertain that? And then it's like finally like dinking off these cups that aren't actually there to really see the one person that it's like, oh, I feel safe around this person. I feel my most authentic self. I feel very easy to be around this person. And then it's like recognizing that it's like, oh, I can trust, because like my intuition told me that, oh, this person's definitely a good person that I would like to be with. And I let other narratives and past traumas and overthinking create all these scenarios that weren't really there. And with the Seven of Cups, like that's such a huge indicative moment of kind of like, slow down. I'm hearing that song, slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everywhere you need to be before your time. And ooh, I think I know why, because you are literally being called to rest right now. You literally cannot be everywhere you need to be before your time. So you need to also trust in some divine timing as well, and recognize that like you slowing down and taking care of yourself and kind of like giving, like I'm sensing that like you need to kind of turn in and like it I'm seeing like someone who goes out and parties a lot and like rarely is home. And so your home's kind of went to shit. Like, you know, you haven't done laundry in weeks because you never really had to, because you're like, you know, you have a huge closet or something like that. Or like you have like dishes that are piled up, and you've just constantly, you're always going out to eat. So like, you're like, well, whatever, I'll do them eventually. Recognize that like giving yourself a safe space to be at home and be at rest is also a part of resting as well. That was something I also understand like the struggle of, because like I'm currently in therapy too, right? Like we're all people on our healing journey. I have no shame. And like I was telling my therapist, I'm like, I don't know, like I don't know how to rest. And she's like, okay, well, when we talk about rest, like, what do you think I'm talking about? I'm like, oh, well, I think you mean like I should be sleeping, or I should be like, you know, laying down. And she's like, yes, but also no, like you can also, you know, be doing things that make your heart happy. Like I don't need to be sitting and laying in bed all day. I can, you know, I can watch some anime, or I can read a book, or read some comics, or, you know, watch some really great tarot readings, you know, and those are other ways to rest. Like, you need to give your soul a rest. You need to give yourself some time to really, and like, here's the thing, the swords are always the suite of communication and mental, I don't want to say mental clarity, because right now you're not there. You're not there. You're not with the mental clarity. There's a lot of things like, and that's the one thing that I want you to realize when it comes to the Five of Pentacles. The Pentacles is the suite of like physical nature, right? So like, you're physically embodying this type of mindset that's not really there, and in reality it's kind of like you're being called to recognize that it's not there. It's in your head, you know? So with that being said, we have the bottom, and I'm very excited to say what your guides have to say to you. So bear with me. There's going to be a little bit of channeling. We're really proud of you. And you're going to be really proud of yourself too. You don't feel like it. You obviously don't feel like it. But you coming back to your baseline is what's going to really revamp. And recognize, when we say going back to your baseline, you need to recognize that the change that has come and grown with you has created you for these moments, to be able to move forward and to be able to grow and to be able to face the things that you've been so afraid of facing. But all these changes, all these wonderful things are really bringing you back to this solid state of nurturing and really coming to your heart. Like, that's one thing that we've been dying for you to see, is that you are ready for this. We know it's scary. We know that there's not a lot of things that make sense right now. But what you need to recognize is that it doesn't need to make sense. You don't need to figure it out. And no, this isn't too good to be true. This isn't some type of crazy wackadoo just telling you good things are going to happen. Things are going to change. But it starts with you taking care of yourself. Like, this is just the beginning to get you to who you're really meant to be. Someone who's loving and nurturing, who wants to give to the world. But you cannot give if you cannot take care of yourself. And that's the thing. It's the mind, it's the body, it's the soul. All right. Oh, sorry. I'm just adjusting myself. It wasn't like me coming out of the channel. I mean, I'm out of the channel now, but also right before the connection ended, I'm hearing 333. If you're seeing 333, it means you're on the right path. So that's a confirmation. Threes are, especially with like death, is 13, so technically it's 14, but I am seeing a lot of fours too. I'm gonna trust that what they had to say is what you needed to hear. Especially when it comes to this bottom row, this is more their territory than it is mine. You need to learn how to love yourself. That's such a freaking blatant statement, and welcome to half of self-care talk, right? But I think your main mode of trusting yourself, your main mode of trusting yourself is to listen to yourself. Duh. learning to trust yourself is your main way to learning to love yourself more. I know that sounds really, I hope that makes sense. But I'm also, I'm wondering if I'm talking to some witches as well. Because we have a lot of pentacles here. And also, like, I'm just realizing, because sometimes, like, one card will come out, a few cards will come out, and then, like, a few cards might come out on the bottom. But we actually do kind of have a 5-point star here as well with the reading. If you are a witch practitioner, which I am myself, so hello, my fellow witches. Believe in your magic. Don't be don't be swayed into thinking it. Like, here's the other thing too. Like, if you're casting, right, and you're consistently looking for the outcome to which your spell is, and you have it in your mind that it's going to be a specific way, you need to believe in the magic that is what is going to happen. Because the more you entertain all these, like, oh, like, my manifestation's not coming in, or my spell's not coming in, you know, like, I'm only gonna get like $20 out of the $3,000 I've been asking for, and that's all I'm gonna get. And then in reality, it's like, you're not realizing, it's like, okay, you didn't get the 3,000 all at once, but it came in, right? And I know I don't know if that was a relevant example to you, to be perfectly honest, because it's you entertaining, here we go, you entertaining more options to the possibilities of trying to figure out what you're creating and what you're manifesting is blocking things from coming in, when in reality you're just being called to, like, rest, relax, you did the work, like, things are going to be working out, and things are going to be changing, and you happen to be changing, and you happen to be changing into the exact person that you always wanted to be, which is super exciting for you, and I'm very, very happy, very, very blessed to hear this for you. I'm interested to see what the oracle cards have to say. Spirit or guides of the receivers of this reading, what are some things that they need to know? What is, you wanted to talk, so this deck, I actually just recently got it on my birthday, and I very much, I just bonded with the deck before recording this, because they were like, we really want to participate in some readings. I'm like, okay. Please bear with me. I like leapers more than anything else when it comes to oracles. So we might be shuffling a little bit. We might not. Who knows? But also, if you need a moment right now to just take a breath. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Let's see if there's anything else for you. Spirit, is there anything else, or your guides that want to come through the talk? Is there anything else, Spirit? Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm also being called to take the bottom. Okay. All right, so this is the bottom of the deck. We're just going to go ahead and take that there. Yeah, okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. My hand is shaking. Okay. We're going to get into this one last. But you're being reiterated to give yourself some tenderness. So true love and compassion. As you can see, look at this cute little giraffe. Oh, so cute. Sorry. Um, there's a true love for yourself here. You might not see it, but you are, with the things that you've been asking for and the way that you've been framing it, you're doing the right thing. It's the problem is after you've been asking for it, you're trying to figure it out. When in reality, you trying to figure it out is making you not see the things coming through. And I think like even with the money example, it actually is still relevant, right? Like you could sit there and be asking for money or prosperity and abundance, and like, you know, you randomly have like $5 here getting taken off, or like random coupon just randomly showing up, or like, you know, your meal got messed up so you have another free meal. Like those things add up, right? Like those are things that add up and make prosperity and abundance a thing, you know? It might not seem like it because you're not literally getting handed $4,000 stack of cash, but that doesn't mean you're not being taken care of, and it doesn't mean you're not receiving the things you asked for. It's just coming in different ways, and it's in order to get more confident in your previous abilities and your power. And honestly, like, you are very powerful. Like here you have like precognition, psychic ability, future vision, and then electric and active power with the divine masculine. So the divine masculine is such a wonderful energy to be in for yourself. But like that's the thing though, the divine masculine is very much a headspace, right? While you have your divine feminine, which is a receiving. And I don't think you're having a problem so much with dictating what you want, but you're having a lack of trust in your powers because you're constantly trying to figure it out rather than giving yourself time to rest, recognize that you did the work to get here, and to really receive all the blessings that are starting to, it might just start like a trickle, but once it starts to trickle in and you start to recognize and to start seeing more and more, it's not actually a trickle. You're sitting here thinking that your tub is leaking when in reality it's like it's downpouring rain. Like, this is so much more than what you can see in front of you, and the universe is always at play. And I think that's the reason why friendship came up, like support, fun, unity, play. Like you are being called to be one with the universe right now, one with trust and faith in moving forward and understanding that like things are going to work out. More than anything, things are going to work out exactly the way that you want them. So have fun with it, and stop locking yourself up, because that's only, it's really only making things more complicated, right? So have some tenderness with yourself. Really take care, rest, take care of your space. I'm hearing too, like I was talking about, do your damn dishes. And really have fun with this. Like you've created such an amazing future for yourself. Like you need to start having fun with it and start receiving it, and being one. But it's like, it's interesting because like things are already changing. Like it's not even like, oh, this has come to pass, or like this will happen. No, like this, like right now, as you're receiving this reading, like things are definitely working in your favor. You might just need to take off, and you know how they have the rose colored glasses that are like so pretty, and like, you know, you see all the good things. You have like shit colored glasses and all you're seeing is shit. So like maybe take the shit colored glasses off and start really recognizing there's a lot of beautiful things in front of you, and it's a lot of things that you've been asking for, and they're going to be exactly what you want, and aligned with your highest good as well. So yeah, well, that's your reading. If you enjoyed this reading, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to probably work on pick a pile readings again. I do enjoy doing them, don't get me wrong. Maybe I'll just record a lot of one piles and then finally I'll just be like, okay, what decks did I use? And then just piece them together or something like that. Well, we'll see. But if you enjoyed this reading, I highly recommend you like, what are they? Like, comment, share this reading if you think that somebody else can also benefit from this as well. You know, spread the word. You know, you can just be like, this crazy cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs nerd is just like out there giving readings and channel messages. Also, if you're interested in booking a personal reading, which will be relatively similar to one of these, if not, there's another layout where it's like what your higher self wants you to know, what's blocking you, and things that your spirit guide wants to talk to you about. So depending on what you need to hear is kind of dependent on how the layout comes out, but the quality is still relatively the same, if not a little bit more, because you're getting a much more specified message being answered. Please understand if you come and book a reading that is like, will so-and-so and I be together, you might not get the answers you are looking for, but we can also help you reshape you know, the way that you want to look at the situation and maybe give you some better messages. But that being said, thank you so much for watching. I think I'm gonna try posting these weekly for a little bit, see how that, you know, see how the algorithm, daddy algorithm, likes me, and keep going from there. I do daily TikTok posts, which I will link my TikTok onto the description box below. Below you will also see, you know, where I get my bracelets, my necklaces, you know, crystals, tarot deck and stuff like that. And yeah, if you're interested in tipping me, feel free to use Venmo, Cash App or PayPal. And thank you so much. And please, please, please interact with this video as much as you can. If you like this, if you have any recommendations for another reading, also follow me on Instagram. A lot of times I post on there going, what do you guys want to know? And actually that'll be probably one of the next videos that I do, because I did post a question out there now that I think about it. So I'm also a little bit of an airhead too. But thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope whenever day or night you are seeing this, you have a wonderful day, a wonderful time, and I hope these messages helped you. So until we read again, bye.